Alright everyone, hello, welcome back. It's been an entire week since we last streamed this. So there are a few things we need to, I guess, catch back up on. So let's go into the equip section, into the equip menu and see what we have. So Bastion's level 20, everyone is almost level 20. Halak needs to level up a little bit, although she already has everything, that from what I remember. So let's go Bastion. Basically he just needs he just needs Flare Bomb, but really he doesn't, because in about 1 or 2 missions he is going to end up getting Ultra Gunner, which means really there's no point of trying to get Flare Bomb. But he has all his dormant skills, and Sadira has all her attacks ready. Isn't that amazing? We got all her attacks this quickly, and she just needs 1 more dormant skill, which is Stealth Motion, and that just requires 12 base and 16 agility, which we're going to be able to get probably maybe next mission. So we'll see what happens. Franco is actually all done, so is Halak. They really don't need to make any more kills. And then we have Cecilia, who's all her dormant skills, and in this mission coming up, Radcot's trap, she will end up getting Wind Strike, and then from there she'll get Somersault once we can purchase the Jade Seal Stone. As for Claire, she's basically done already too. Like, there's nothing left for them. So it literally is just make sure Bastion increases his stats so he can get Soaring Dance, make sure Sadira gets Stealth Motion, and make sure Cecilia gets Wind Strike and Somersault. And then yeah, we're done. We're basically built them all up to, I guess, 100% again. And it's just making sure we get into the Cecilia route. Alright, so let's go ahead and do interview. We can actually see where we are in terms of Sadira and Cecilia's morale. So as you can see, Sadira is the yellow smiley face, and Cecilia is the orange star, which basically indicates a visual indication that Sadira's morale is lower than Cecilia. Now that could change in the next few missions, so we still have to be careful not to let that happen. But we're on track to end up with Cecilia's ending. So let's talk to Cecilia. Bastion, I'm really worried about using Andrew's ATAC. Will he get angry if I damage it in battle? Okay, talk to her 2 more times. And there we go. Fantastic. And we'll go to briefing. Vucrio Desert. This is, like, too suspicious. It has to be an ambush. But who are the ambushers? Has the Kingdom Army followed us here? Or are these Muspel soldiers? Now, if you're not new to the stream at all, or even Vanguard Bandits, you know exactly what's going to happen here. It's like the perfect place to level up. And you're going to see how easy it is compared to Bastion escaping. That's the Bahamut ATAC, which means we have encountered the person you were hoping not to encounter, Princess. Exactly. You are Duke Radcot, are you not? What brings you to this area of the Muspel Nation? Imperial Princess Sadira, what an unexpected delight to meet you here. I am merely conducting a diagnostic test on my ATAC. What brings you to my country, then? I'm here because... What? Sadira's been surrounded! Princess! What kind of stunt is this, Radcot? You would not dare to lay a hand on the daughter of the Empire you have allied yourself with. But the Empire was never my ally, Sadira, and now I will be stronger than the Empire ever was. What are you talking about? I am referring to Prince Bastion and the Ultra Gunner, of course. To wield such power will be delicious. You're insane, Radcot. Bastion will never join with you, nor follow any of your demented orders. He doesn't care about me, Sadira. He wants Gratia. Precisely, Prince Bastion. Until now, it has been in the possession of the accursed Marquise Dion. and I have never had the strength to steal Gratia from him. But now Gratia rests in Bastion's hands, and I intend to release it from his feeble grasp. Release the Princess, Duke Radcot. Only if you give me the stone, Bastion, and I'm not going to ask twice. I always knew you were a disgusting pig, Radcot, but you have managed to reach a new level of filth. I want to slap your face until every one of your chins is bright red. Hehehehe. I'm honored to receive such praise, Princess Sadira. Bastion, don't let Radcot have Gratia. We can simply humiliate him and his pathetic army instead. Sadira, you're surrounded. I would rather die 1,000 deaths than give this sadist the power of the Ultra Gunner. So, let's charge forward and rescue Sadira, then smash through the rest of these fools. Unless you want to give up instead. Not at all, Claire. I want to fight. We have to be as brave as Sadira and stand up to this evil man. Attack! Alright, so this is actually a very simple mission. The only real issue is the sand. The desert tiles increase the amount of AP you use to move across the map. So normally it is 20 for your first movement and then 10 from there on, typically. If you look here, it's 22 now. So that's plus, it basically added another 2 to her first move. And as you can see, it's going down by 12 every single time. So we'll move forward a little bit and we'll get a better grasp of how movement is how we get affected by the desert tiles with the other characters. So move Cecilia forward. Let's go ahead and use Turbulence. There we go. And don't worry too much about Sadira. She won't die, assuming you've actually been leveling her up. If you haven't, then you're in a tricky situation. She might end up actually dying. But for the most part, she probably won't. Ah, shoot. Okay, so that's the bad thing that happened. She was hit with quicksand, which prevents her from making any moves. So she can't actually move anymore. If we could move her, we could have easily gotten her out of there. So let's just keep avoiding this. Okay, we're getting hit by everything, which is actually really bad for us. The Muspel soldiers, although if you look at their level, they're only level 14 to 16, they still have a movement advantage against us in that the desert doesn't affect their ATACs, so they move at a normal pace, which means their AP doesn't get drained as quickly. Okay, as you see, Sadira has the X floating around her head. We've never gotten that before, so here's your first instance of not being able to move. That prevents you from using your movement ability, so you're kind of trapped in one place if you get hit with it. So we're forced to end our turn, and hopefully she doesn't get killed, because her death here means the end of the mission. Okay, so here, as I was saying, this is how movement works. So when you first make a move, you are reduced by 20 AP for your first movement, but if you look carefully here, we have been reduced by 18, which is interesting. And then every subsequent AP move will be 10 AP. So looks like we're going down by 18 every single time, as you can see. So that's how it works, really. Oh, sorry. I was right. So 28 AP for the first move, and then 18 for every subsequent move. So that's how it works. Usually it's 20 for your first move, and then 10 for the subsequent moves. So that's why the Muspel soldiers have a tactical advantage here, because they reduce their AP by the normal amount. So Sadira should be fine. She should not actually end up dying. The good thing about our characters is that they are extremely overpowered right now, minus Halak. So what we can do is we can sit here, we can use Searing Flame on Bastion as much as possible, and we are going to make sure Cecilia levels up along with Sadira. We're also going to focus on leveling up Halak just a little bit, nothing too crazy. We really just need her to be at least level 20. And if you remember the tactics I like to use, instead of the turbulence spamming, what we're doing is increasing the enemy's FP to at least 60, which will basically make them end the turn and their turn without making any actions. So yeah, so Searing Flame on Halak, give her some more attack power. In their turn, move Halak behind Cecilia so Cecilia doesn't get back attacked. Go ahead with Flare Bomb and we'll hit Muspel 6. Hopefully it hits. Excellent. Now she's going to level up for sure. There we go. 500 experience. So we're doing a base power dex build for her and Franco. So let's end our turn. And now, if you look at Sadira, look how far she can move. Now, this is only specific to this build that I have for her right now. She has hover jets, and she also has rapid motion, right? So basically because of that, she can move extremely far without her movement being afflicted by the terrain cost of desert. So as you can see, normal 20% and then 10 following that first movement. Usually it would be the exact same as the other characters, but because we have those dormant skills, we can easily escape. If you don't have it, then you won't be able to get this far. So Sadira is perfectly fine. We don't need to worry too much about her. It's basically Cecilia we need to worry about. Remember, if she dies, her morale goes down. So we have to make sure she survives. Okay, let's do another Flare Bomb on Muspel 7. There we go. As you can see, they are taking massive amounts of damage. Our level is too far above theirs. And Halak can probably make one more kill, but generally we're going to want Cecilia to make the kills. So let's do let's do Melting Flare on Muspel 9, and then we'll use Searing Flame on Cecilia. She'll get a huge attack boost thanks to this. Okay, look carefully. She has 8 FP, which basically makes her a beast at this point. Okay, there we go. Let's attack, and she should have Wind Strike. So we'll use double Wind Strike because we have second attack. There we go. And now, 60 FP for Muspel 3 means it's going to skip its turn. Okay, so we have Muspel 1 and maybe Muspel 2 will come too. Yeah, so it did come. And that's okay. Sadira is perfectly fine all by herself. The only issue comes when Radcot appears. If she's by herself and she fights Radcot, it's likely she would probably die because, for this reason only, Radcot has Bahamut's unique attack, Terror Shock. That is a massively overpowered earth attack. The good thing is his attack power is low, so it won't do a mass amount of damage, but it's still a really strong attack. So let's do Strong Thrust on Muspel 8. And looks like she dodged. Good. End her turn. Franco can go ahead with a Flare Bomb next to Halak, and we'll use Searing Flame on her too. Okay, now Radcot's on the move, so we have to be careful that Cecilia doesn't get caught by him. Okay, this should be good. Okay, didn't hit, but that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Let's see, can I? Yes. And we'll use Searing Flame on Bastion. Bastion, go ahead with Melting Flare again on Muspel 8. Okay, that's fine. What we're trying to do is raise their FP to the point where they'll skip their turn. There we go, end their turn. Cecilia can go ahead with Strong Thrust. And hopefully she lands this. Well, she does. Hopefully she doesn't get hit. Okay, she got hit. That's okay. She leveled up in the process, which is amazing. Alright, so we need to get 18 to dexterity. So 1, 2, 3. And this gives her 18 dexterity, which gives her Wind Strike. And because she has all this, Assassinate, and basically stealth and rapid motion, she can easily get behind other enemies and wipe them out very quickly. As soon as we get Somersault, she's going to turn into an absolute monster, and that's what I'm looking forward to. A monster maid. Okay, we need to get moving. We need to get out of here. Radcot. Terror Shock has a 2 range, so we need to get away from that. We'll move over here to this guy's side. Let's go ahead and do a Wind Strike. Actually, no, let's not do Wind Strike because we're going to end up being frozen if we're not careful. Let's stop right here. Okay, Franco, he needs to end his turn. If he gets frozen, he's basically done for. So let's move Claire out and in again. We're only doing this because it'll keep their morale from falling. Because I don't know for sure whether Claire's morale goes down if she does nothing. But considering her personality, it probably does go down. So we could use Wind Strike, but I think we should cover our FP first. So let's move out of the way and we'll move back. Okay, let's I guess we could defend this one. We kind of just want to make sure Franco doesn't die. And Bastion can go ahead, Melting Flare on Muspel 4. Let's go ahead with skill Searing Flame on Cecilia. Okay, Sadira can go behind Muspel 4 and make a Wind Strike. There we go. ATAC needs to... Actually, what is her level? 17, and then... Yeah, alright, so she needs to not hit the level 14 enemies, if at all possible, but it's okay if she does. You know what, I'll give her the level 14 enemies, because I don't care much for her leveling up at this point. She is at the point where she's 100%, so there's no real reason to work on her at this point. Okay, end our turn. Okay, Franco, you are level 19, so he's really high up there. Okay, end our turn. Cecilia can go ahead with Wind Strike now and finish off Muspel 8. That was an obvious accident. I meant to not have her make any kills because she's level 18 already. Okay, now let's go over here. We'll try and keep the Muspel soldiers from coming too close. And by that I mean surrounding Franco again, because he's almost dead. Okay, Bastion again, Melting Flare. And we are not going to use Searing Flame on Cecilia. There's no point in doing that. We can attack Sadira. Now the thing we need to get with Sadira is stealth motion, so she's almost there. One more, well, she defeats one more enemy and she should be able to get it. ATAC, you cannot do any kills, so we'll use this and freeze that Muspel soldier over there. Cecilia, give Roaring Wind to Sadira so she can actually make the kill. Sadira's dexterity is really high, so her missing probably will never happen. Okay, Franco, let's go ahead and just end his turn. Claire, same thing, kick. Although she's really strong right now, maybe we'll just... Let's leave her where she is. Just move her a little bit. There we go. And then we don't need to move Cecilia. Actually, let me check these Muscle soldiers. So level 16, 17, and 17. Alright, so let's actually move her about here. We'll just do a normal attack here. Sorry, my controller is totally on the fritz right now. Let's end their turn. Okay, we're gonna probably be able to see Terror Shock. No, we're not. We're very lucky, actually. We weren't lucky just then, so that's not good. Let's end our turn. And then Sadira can go ahead with another Wind Strike. Okay, she needs to do one more victory. And if we freeze her, can Radcot reach her? Can anyone reach her? No, nobody's going to be able to reach her, so we'll put her here, and we'll use Spiral Dive. Alright, now she's frozen, it's okay. She has one turn to recover from it, and she should be fine. This is not good. This is really not good. You cannot trust any, if they're gonna hit you and their hit rate is really low, it doesn't matter how low it is. It could be literally 10% and you would still get hit. It could be 1% and you would still get hit. So it's scary when you're at low HP and then you, well, basically, if somebody attacks you, right? Because if you play this game a lot, you know that hit accuracy doesn't mean that you're actually going to dodge it. Hit accuracy of less than like 5 doesn't mean you're going to dodge. Okay, let's go behind Sadira and end our turn. And we're going to go beside, next to Cecilia, and try and get her to safety as much as possible. Okay, let's end our turn here, get Cecilia out of there. And we'll move her over here. Okay, Earthquake will knock down Halak, so we can't actually do anything about this. Let's just defend. We'll keep her on the field as long as possible. And basically turn her into a tank. An unwilling tank. Alright, Cecilia, let's see. It's 54 FP. Let's have her recover some FP before we make a move. Let's use Flare Bomb on Radcot. The good thing about Radcot is he will not run away. So you can hit him with your strongest attacks and, well, he won't run away. There's nothing else to it. So it's a really good thing. So we can actually use double Wind Strike on him and then potentially, yeah, double Wind Strike and it will freeze him. Good thing Halak has a good amount of defense, otherwise she'd be totally defeated. So Fireball, can we get experience from anything? I guess from him. And we'll use Searing Flame. Now we'll leave Searing Flame alone. End our turn. Sadira's can go over here and she's gonna use double. Oh, she can only use one. Shoot. Okay. Prepare for death at my hands, you treacherous bastard. Oh, princess, your words are like sweet nothings whispered into my ear. The only thing I'm going to put into your ear is my sword, you grotesque sack of pockmarked flesh. Whoa, that was brutal. Alright, so here we go. Sadira just needs to get stealth motion, like I said, and agility 16. So, there's your agility 16, and she has a base of 18 already. So, her final dormant skill is now ours. Let's go ahead and just increase her attack power. From here on, we're going to go with base, power, and dexterity. Or sorry, we're going with power, dex, and agility. We're going to make it so she can evade as well as always hit. Kind of like what we're going to do with Cecilia. They kind of have the same builds. Well, same general builds. And their turn. So, whatever you do to one, you could probably do to the other. Okay, let's go ahead and check our characters quickly. So, Claire is at the highest level. We could probably give the Radcot kill to Bastion because this will cause him to level up possibly twice, and then we can start allocating towards Soaring Dance, which to be honest, we won't use a whole lot. We'll instead probably just spam lightning strikes. So it's more for the 100% completion thing. So let's move over to, actually, let's just, let's go over behind Radcot. If we surround him, our accuracy to hit Radcot increases. So tornado on Radcot. And let's go ahead and melting flare on Radcot. He's extremely weakened, so if he manages to survive at all, it's gonna be an actual miracle. He's holding out. The old lady has grit. Okay, there we go. Let's use Spiral Dive there. And we'll do another one. We'll just let wait, what's her HP at? Okay. We'll let Sadira just freeze herself. It's okay. Like, we're almost done here, so her being frozen is perfectly fine. Okay, Bastion doesn't have Fireball, and Halak can't move, so we can't move her out of the way. Oh, sorry, no, I mean Bastion has Fireball, but Halak can't move, so we can't go in front of Radcot to make the kill. Okay, let's go and do Tornado on Muspel. And we'll end our turn. For Halak, we can't move anywhere, so we're going to end our turn. Same with Franco. I don't want to take the Muspel 2 kill with him, just because he doesn't need to level up. So let's move him out of the way. Claire can go ahead with... She can just use Searing Flame on Sadira. No other purpose than to have her do something. Let's end our turn. Cecilia can go ahead and use... Actually, 18 and 19. So let's have Cecilia make the attack on Muspel. There we go. Terror Shock. Okay, so Franco's probably going to get killed, so you get to see what it looks like and how much damage it can do. Now, you've seen the damage of 26, right? That is only because his power is really low. In the Kingdom route, when we got Nana, we end up with Bahamut. So, and if you properly allocate her stats to power, right, then really, that thing is a very powerful Earth attack. So, Radcot, his power is only 15, so that's why it was so weak. But as an attack, it's really good. Alright, let's use Fireball on Radcot. Oh no, we're gonna attack from his back. Dang you, Radcot. Shoot. Okay, let's end our turn here. Let's get Halak out of the way. Let's move her right here. And... actually, let's move her beside Bastion. And we'll use Searing Flame on Bastion. Hopefully we can at least get to Radcot's side and not have to deal with his backside. And we'll move over here. Actually, we'll move right here. You know what? No, let's just stay put and do our weird movements back and forth. Sadira can do the same thing because we want Cecilia to take that Muspel kill. Alright, there we go. So, let's say right here. Okay, Bastion go to the side, and now with Searing Flame, his Fireball is going to be massively overpowered. Let's watch this battle. Impossible! I had the perfect plan! The continent would have been mine! Wah! Duke Radcot hungered for the power of the Ultra Gunner so badly that he was willing to kill us all for it. It amazes me how easily a man's soul can be corrupted by dreams of power over other men. Perhaps that is why Ultra Gunner was hidden away to begin with. Very wise words. Hello, Bastion. Oh, hello, Cecilia. You caught me in the middle of some deep thinking. I was hoping to speak with you, but I will come back if you prefer. It's fine, Cecilia. Stay and talk. Have you yet decided what you're going to do with Ultra Gunner after you end the war? That's rather ironic, Cecilia, as my thoughts are focused on how I will answer that very question. And I still haven't decided. Perhaps I won't know until I have the Ultra Gunner in my possession. Are you afraid, Bastion? I am, Cecilia. Am I making a mistake by activating the Ultra Gunner? Will its power eventually corrupt me? I don't think so, Bastion. Your soul is too kind to be corrupted. Your words are kind, Cecilia, but I cannot draw comfort from them. Do not lose hope, Bastion. I need you to be strong. Now I have a question for you. You were unusually quiet around Andrew. Is he a friend of yours? I don't like to talk about the past, but I have sworn to be honest with you, Bastion. So you are friends with him. More than that, Bastion. He was my teacher in the ninja arts. Oh. And we were involved at one point. I see. Don't be jealous, Bastion. It happened a long time ago, and I regret it to this day. Trust me. Oh. What's up, Sadira? How long has Sadira been standing there, I wonder? Nothing, Claire. Nothing at all. We're like having a meeting in the council chambers, Bastion, and we can't start without you. I'll see you there, Claire. Sadira? Yes, Claire? If we're going to make a move, we'd better do it soon. I agree. If we don't go and collect the Ultra Gunner right away, who knows what might happen to it? I was talking about Bastion. What? Are you inferring that we are in some sort of competition for Bastion's attention? Hello? Of course we are, Sadira. But it looks like your hired assassin is totally winning. Cecilia and Bastion, you have to be joking, Claire. Bastion is royalty and Cecilia is a commoner? Yes, a commoner. Is that what you're going to tell Bastion the next time you see him? Claire's right. I'm jealous of Cecilia. I want all of Bastion's attention, and I'm upset that I'm not getting it. But I need her to help us. I can't risk losing her services. I have to conceal my feelings somehow. Well, we all know what happened to Elsa when she concealed her feelings. Shall we depart, Franco? Certainly, Princess. I will lead our party, if that is suitable to you. We have arrived. A short journey, no? The Morania Temple, the tomb of the Ultra Gunner. Who knew the Ultra Gunner was inside here all these years? You're all going to laugh at me. I feel very nervous right now. Haha, don't be silly, Bastion. This is when all our hard work pays off. Now hurry up and get in there. I feel better if someone came with me. What about you, Cecilia? Would you escort me inside? Or, as you say, am I being silly? Haha, sorry, Bastion, but you're the only one who can enter the temple. Really? Yes, Princess. That's what Thompson told me. Alright, we'll wait for you, Bastion. Don't be afraid to come back outside if anything strange happens. I'm sure I'll be fine, Sadira. When I see you all next, it will be inside the Ultra Gunner. It's huge. This must be it. This is Ultra Gunner. But this is not an ATAC. It's a statue carved out of stone, a solemn tribute to an eternal legend. Wait, the stone is glowing, and the more I think about Ultra Gunner, the brighter Gradia becomes. This is no statue. The layer of stone was merely an illusion which Gradia stripped away. This is the ATAC which I was born to control. This is the ATAC which can bring peace to the world. I wonder if the controls are similar to the Alba's, or if I have to learn an entirely new system. I suppose the only way to find out is to get inside and see for myself. Alright, so we've done that. We've made sure we got Sadira's stealth motion, which, yeah, we got it. And we just need to get through a few more missions to purchase the Jade Sealstone. And from there, we basically made it to the point where we have 100%ed Cecilia. So let's take a quick look at the stats right now, and we'll leave in a quick second. So there we go, rapid motion, and Cecilia has Wind Strike, fantastic. So for Dex for Cecilia, she's going to need 20 dexterity. For Somersault, she's going to need 20 dexterity. And then that's basically it. So let's exit here. And we'll do interview. Talk to Cecilia. I was taught that a ninja needs to move swiftly and quietly, like the wind itself. Isn't that profound? Okay, talk to her 2 more times. Maybe we'll get a star, I think. It's a pink star, right? And briefing. I'm doing it. I have the Ultra Gunner under my control. It's time to go outside and show off this beautiful ATAC. Alright, let's begin. Sorry to keep you all waiting. Well, here it is, the Ultra Gunner. It's very impressive, Bastion, and very, very white. Indeed it is, Sadira. I'm not looking forward to wait. Indeed it is, Sadira. I'm not looking forward to keeping it clean between battles. What concerns me more is that I don't sense anything especially powerful about it. I'm totally surprised you were able to find it so quickly, Bastion. Wasn't it hidden or something? Who cares, Claire? What's important is that we found it, and that Bastion can operate it. Let's head for Nor's castle, Bastion. We can rest for a while, then decide what to do next. I have a better idea. Why don't you give me the Ultra Gunner before I decide to kill you all? Like, whatever. Faulkner. And my brother, Duyere? Sadira, our father is dead. What? Emperor Degal was certainly not young, but also not in poor health. Was it an accident, Duyere? No, Franco. It was an assassination. Someone crept into his bedchamber and stabbed him to death. How horrible. Who would do such a thing to father? I was hoping you might be able to answer that question, Sadira. What? I don't understand, Duyere. I see. You are feigning ignorance just as Faulkner predicted you would. Let me make it clear for you then. You are the one who orchestrated our father's murder, Sadira. You conspired to kill him. Brother! You are obviously overcome with grief, or you would realize what a ridiculous accusation that is. Really, Sadira, you deny your intent to kill father and me, then claim the throne of the Empire? I don't want the throne, brother, and I've told you that many times. Don't you remember? We captured the assassin Sadira, and he told us everything. Spare me your litany of lies. You are under arrest for mutiny and murder, Sadira. Come with us now, or we will take you by force. You're making an enormous mistake. The assassin was lying to you. I am entirely innocent. Is that so, Sadira? Then why did you rescue the Prince of the Kingdom and help him find the Ultra Gunner? Because you and he have schemed to conquer the continent under the flag of the Pharastia Kingdom. You stupid freak, don't you understand? Bastion and I want to end the war, not to wage one. Sadira, there is only one way to convince me of your innocence. Allow us to arrest Bastion and take the Ultra Gunner from him. You know I cannot do that. Let them take me, Sadira. Bastion, no! Sadira's right, Bastion. You'd be totally stupid to let them take the Ultra Gunner. Especially because they want to use it. What do you mean? Claire's correct. Prince Duyere is being manipulated by someone who wants the Ultra Gunner. Someone who could arrange for the Emperor to be killed. Someone who could fill Duyere's lie. Someone who could fill Duyere's heads with lie. Someone who could fill Duyere's head with lies. And who would have that kind of influence, Franco? Faulkner. Of course. If we surrender, Princess, we will be thrown into prison and executed shortly thereafter. And if we fight Faulkner Duyere, we will be charged with additional crimes against the Empire. It is a no-win situation. What should we do now? I say we fight Sadira. We'll break through these troops and find a way to prove Faulkner's guilt. I will never surrender Sadira. It is without honor. Bastion. I'm with Bastion. Let's fight. I agree. We must fight, Princess. There is no try, only do. I hate the thought, and the phrasing's a little queer, but the truth of that statement is clear. Alright, we will fight. What's the matter, Sadira? Are you afraid to admit that everything I've said about you is correct? No, brother, you're still wrong. But you won't listen to me. Faulkner has clouded your mind with his lies. I'm going to prove my innocence to you, my brother. But I must remain free for that to happen. You're going to fight us, Sadira? You're ready to cross swords with your own soldiers? This is a tragic day, Prince Duyere. You must be grieving over the awful choice you are forced to make. Indeed, Faulkner. The citizens of the Empire will consider me weak if I do not kill them here and now. As a new Emperor, I must show strength and courage in the face of this enormous tragedy. It is a courageous decision indeed, Prince Duyere. I applaud you. Capture the traitors. Capture the traitors, my soldiers. Kill them if they resist. I think the conversation is over. Here they come. Alright, so, yeah, clearly Duyere is being manipulated. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Wrong one. So Duyere and Faulkner are pretty easy to deal with. They're not going to attack for a while. What you want to make sure of is when they finally start moving towards you, Faulkner and Duyere will leave the battle at the same time, depending on who is reduced to below 50 or is defeated. So what that means is if Faulkner is reduced to 86, below 86 HP, he will retreat, and Duyere will retreat along with him. That includes Duyere. If he is reduced to less than 86 HP, he will retreat, and Faulkner will retreat with him. Everybody else is basically fair game. And if we take a look at the levels, we'll sort it. There are lots of enemies here who are about level 18 to 19. My controller's still on the fritz. They're anywhere between 17. They're anywhere between 18 to 20, which will help us to level up. Everything below that can probably go to Franco or Halax. So, yeah. So we need to make sure Bastion gets the kills until so that he can level up. So we're gonna move Cecilia. We're gonna move Sadira up. Move Cecilia beside Sadira. They're gonna fight side by side, and we'll use Turbulence. And their turn here. Actually, we'll use Roaring Wind on Sadira. We'll make sure they can actually attack. Then we're going to take a look at Bastion and see what attacks he actually has once we can actually get it. So let's go like this. Face backwards because the Imperials here are going to cross this bridge, and well, they're going to be right here to attack, so we can't let them flank us. We could actually have Franco and Halax stay here the whole time. They are strong enough to actually deal with it, so I think that's a better plan. So we'll have them at the base of the bridge and we'll wait the enemy ambush. There we go. And they can also use Searing Flame on one another, so basically they'll be able to do more damage. Okay, Sadira can go ahead and use Roaring Wind on Cecilia. And this is how we're going to position ourselves for the entirety of the battle. We're going to make sure Bastion gets as many kills as possible, but otherwise, yeah, this is how we're going to fight. Alright, so Cecilia has 18 dexterity, so we'll increase it by 2. There we go. Now it's 20 dexterity. And from here, we can go ahead and focus on base power and... Let's go base power and dexterity. So there we go. And we do not have Somersault until we can purchase the Jade Sealing Stone. Let's take a look at Bastion and see what he has now. So he already has Splitting Smash. So if we give, let's see, 3 to Agility and then 2 to Defense, we're going to be able to get Soaring Dance right there. So that's 2 level ups. So we're actually very, very close to it. Let's just end our turn right here. Claire can go behind, and she can use Searing Flame on Bastion. This will basically make it so that he will do Mondo's amounts of damage. Especially, it's going to be really important that he has Searing Flame once Faulkner comes here. That's the only way we're going to be able to actually one-shot him, is if Faulkner is frozen or we hit him from behind while Searing Flame is active on Bastion. Let's go ahead and counter. She missed. That was pretty shocking. Okay, so Sadira can just go ahead with, I would say, Spiral Dive. Just doing like attacks here and making sure they're very damaging, I think is a good thing to do. So we can do a second one, but let's not. Her being frozen is something you don't want to happen. She will be defeated. Yeah, she will be defeated. So let's not have that happen. Cecilia can go Wind Strike. Go, and we'll use Roaring Wind on Bastion. Increase his dexterity. Okay, we'll use Searing Flame on Halak, and now when Imperials get in front of them and they start attacking, we can probably just use, I would say, Flare Bomb, but we'll probably end up being frozen. So maybe we'll just keep using Fireball on them. Massive amount of experience, right? That's crazy. So base power dexterity and Searing Flame on Franco. So this is the pattern we're going to be doing with Franco and Halak the whole time. Okay, Bastion, go ahead with Splitting Smash, and if you've never seen it before, this is what it looks like. Alright, perfect. So one more level up after this and we'll have Soaring Dance. I promise you I'm not doing this on purpose. My controller is on the fritz. There we go. Now let's end our turn. And yeah, defense just needs 2 more stat points and we will have Soaring Dance. Let's end our turn here. Let's go ahead and back, forward, and end our turn. We'll make sure we use Searing Flame again. And as soon as we get Soaring Dance, it's going to be really good because the enemies that come, they won't be able to block it, which basically makes it so that we can actually damage them, right? Okay, let's try and counter this time and hopefully it works. Okay, we're never countering again with Cecilia. So like I said, we can actually use Fireball here. It only increases our FP by 49. It's not a lot, but they have a range to attack right now, so we're gonna get rid of the ones that have Quicksand before we start attacking. Okay, use skill, Roaring Wind on Bastion. Make sure you actually hit. Now I want to take a look at the Duntarius because the last one we attacked with Splitting Smash, it looked like it was going to try and use Reflect Attack, and it can be used against Splitting Smash, so we could have actually missed. Okay, let's go ahead with Flare Bomb and Searing Flame. Okay, so we'll try Fireball. Now they have a 48% of actually hitting us, so with Flare Bomb actually be crazier. You know what? Let's do something really stupid and just do this. Dang it, Franco. Alright, as you can see, the FP doesn't go back down. It still collects, and it still increases your FP. So even if you don't manage to make an attack, you still generate the FP. Like I said, let's do something stupid. It was really stupid. Let's go ahead with Turbulence here. Actually, we'll do Spiral Dive. There we go. And let's end our turn. We'll have Cecilia, or Sadira, what's her name again? Claire. Use Searing Flame on Bastion. End our turn. And Bastion can go ahead with another Splitting Smash. There we go. C7, fantastic. Alright, so I think at this point we need to move a little forward. And the bodyguards don't move until we get too close, or after a set number of turns. Okay, so Halak is just about to be frozen, so we're just going to use Searing Flame and end our turn. Okay, maybe we'll actually just stay here because the bodyguards are coming. Okay, she should be able to counterattack this. If she can't, I'm gonna be absolutely shocked. Good job. The good thing about the bodyguards is that their level's higher than the Dantarius, so we can safely attack them, get a lot of experience, and yeah, really that's it. Get a lot of experience. Okay. Even we can counter with 32% hit, but it might miss, but there are rare instances where it actually connects. So let's see if it happens here. Nope, her bad back got to her. Alright, let's move this way, and we're oh geez, almost ended my turn. Let's go attack. Another Splitting Smash. Fantastic. Now we should have leveled up now. No. Oh, it always happens where it's just like a couple tens of degrees of preventing us from leveling up. There was one point in the past where I was so certain I'll level up, and I didn't, and I looked how much experience I needed, and it turned out it was only 1 experience. You're like literally staring at like, come on, just mercy, and just give me that extra experience point. Alright, excellent. Bodyguard Chief should be level 21, I believe, if I remember correctly. Okay, Bodyguard Chief, yeah, level 21. Alright, so Sadira can go ahead and... oh, dang it. She needs to use Roaring Wind, and then she needs to end her turn immediately. Although we are trying to get Cecilia's ending, I don't really want Sadira to be defeated. So, Wind Strike. And we'll go ahead and use Roaring... actually, we'll end our turn right here. And let's move over and give Searing Flame to Bastion again. Turn. End our turn again. Oh my goodness. Bastion can go ahead with attacking the Splitting Smash. Wow. Couldn't give me the 7 experience. This game is so cruel sometimes. Okay, we're gonna use Flare Bomb. Let's see. This guy is the most troublesome. but we can actually win if we manage to defeat this one. Nope. Okay, we're not going to. Let's end our turn. And there we go. We got Duyere moving, and I was about to call her Fokker, but Faulkner is about to move too. So stop here, and Sadira leveled up. Excellent. So, like I said, base power dex for her. There we go. And there's no real reason other than to just like make her stronger, because her spiral dive is actually really strong. You just have to make sure you don't get frozen while using it. Okay, Cecilia, I can go ahead and Wind Strike again. There we go, it's frozen. Roaring Wind on Bastion, so he actually hits. And then Searing Flame again on Bastion. Okay, end their turn. I'm glad she didn't get hit by that. Like, her dying is actually not a good thing to happen right now. Let's use Wind Strike on Bodyguard Chief. Twice. There we go. Now he's gonna skip his turn. Okay, we need to wipe out like one of these Imperials. Okay, let's hit the Dontarius. There we go. Fantastic. I was actually worried he'd miss, but he didn't let me down. He's a good boy. Trying to avoid this. Excellent. Avoid. Excellent, Franco. Good job. Good job, good job, good job. Alright, Cecilia, she cannot let her do that. Let's go ahead with Bodyguard Chief, and we'll use Roaring Wind on Bastion again. And we'll end our turn. Bastion can go ahead with Splitting Smash, get that monstrous amount of experience. Actually, just a little bit is required right now. Alright, so we just need to give it to Dexterity. I believe it's 2 points. Whoa, man, controller. It's gonna screw me up here. Okay, so there we go. And now, with these stats, we have Soaring Dance. What I want to do is start putting it towards Power and Dexterity. And then a third one, maybe Weapon, like just increase its power, and being able to hit with it would be absolutely amazing. So that's what we're gonna do that. We're gonna do Power, Dex, and Weapon. Now I always say, don't ever touch the weapon stat, because it's not helpful, because you can buy weapons itself and it will increase the weapon stat by way more stat points than you can allocate during a level up. The reason why I'm going to do it for this one is because Bastion can't get anything else that could increase his weapon stat except for the accessories, right? But you don't want to use accessories to increase the weapon stat. It's only a minor amount of damage increase, so you do not want to do that. So that's why I'm going to do that. Increase power, dex, and weapon with my stats, since we have everything with Bastion now. It's in their turn. And hopefully that circular talk wasn't too confusing. Okay, we need to end our turn here. Claire can go ahead with Searing Flame again. Right there. And then I want to put her to the side now. I want to see if... Well, no, I'm actually going to keep her back here. Change my mind. Let's go Wind Strike. Freeze the Bodyguard Chief. And then we will just stay put so we don't get frozen. When Faulkner comes here, he's actually really strong. That's the whole reason why we want to defeat him instead of Duyere, because we'll get more experience for fighting him than Duyere. And we also want to make sure that Bastion makes the kill on Faulkner so that he can do some massive leveling up. Okay, we want to do base with Sadira and Bastion. We want to hit Duyere at least once because they have a unique dialogue, and we want to make sure Cecilia doesn't get taken down either. So we can one-shot Duyere. That's really impressive. Let's just go ahead and use Holy Light on Cecilia so that she doesn't die. And we'll end our turn right here. Okay, Franco, Flare Bomb on, let's do this. There we go. You can finally use Searing Flame on Halak now. I can do the same thing. We're basically focusing down on one Imperial at a time. This is basically to both raise their FP to at least 60, as well as get rid of them as quick as possible. So Faulkner's gonna go behind, let's see, Sadira, or sorry, in front of Sadira, but that's about it. And then he's gonna probably attack her, so to make sure she doesn't die. So let's do a really weak attack on Duyere, and we'll watch brother and sister battle it out. Duyere, why won't you realize that Faulkner's manipulating you? Sadira, why won't you surrender? You're just making this harder for the both of us. Besides, it's you who's being used. Bastion has shamelessly exploited your affection for him. My feelings for Bastion have nothing to do with any of this, Duyere. Okay, 4 experience. That was expected. Let's go ahead and do Turbulence, and oh, we can't hit. I was gonna hit Faulkner, but he's slightly too far. Avoid this. Can't avoid it. I don't know why I keep thinking that Franco can dodge. And let's not do that. Let's just go ahead with Roaring Wind on Bastion. End their turn. Bastion, go ahead and use Blinding Light, only Blinding Light. We'd want to make sure Duyere doesn't get one-shotted. You're going to... Let's turn that off for a quick second. You're going to pay with your life for corrupting my sister with your twisted schemes, Bastion. How can you be so stupid, Duyere? Faulkner is using you to obtain the Ultra Gunner for himself. Shut up! Hey, I turned battle animations on, right? Let's do that again. I did turn it on. That was weird. Very nice. There we go. Now, I believe he's blinded, so his accuracy actually went down. Alright. Good job. And here comes Faulkner. Yeah, Flare Bomb. Massive damage, right? Good thing we dodged it. And it looks like they don't have a unique dialogue. So it's just Bastion and Sadira who have the Bastion and Faulkner who have the unique dialogue. That's good to know. So let's go here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take down the bodyguard chief right here, and then Faulkner will move up. From there we can actually attack him perfectly fine. And we'll move right here, and Duyere can't do anything. Let's go Sadira on bodyguard chief. There we go. And we will end our turn. Go ahead with Turbulence on Faulkner. And Roaring Wind on Bastion. Okay, usual setup. Usual Franco and Halak things. Finally. That took a while. Alright, let's do Splitting Smash. And, okay, so if I hit Bodyguard Chief with this, and then Faulkner moves forward, the problem... Actually, no, wait, that's actually fine. Because I could do this, hit Bodyguard Chief, and then I would end my turn 0 AP, which means I won't have any to recover. Let's go ahead and choose Lightning Strike. Let's take a look at it. Okay, 457 experience. That's absolutely amazing. So like I said, we're gonna increase power, dex, and then, oh my god. Actually, no, we're not gonna touch the weapon stat. Instead, we're gonna give 2 to power the whole time. 2 to power, 1 to dex. On our turn, Claire can go ahead and use Searing Flame again. End our turn. Pierre is gonna make his move. Good job. Okay, Sadira. Let's go ahead and just use Tornado. Actually. If we hit Faulkner, he's not going to move forward, so let's not bug Faulkner. Let's just hit Duyere again, just for lulz. And we will use Roaring Wind on Bastion. I don't trust him to avoid it, so let's just use Fireball. Okay, and we can use Flare Bomb, I believe. Yep. And we can get a kill, finally. Alright, base power dex. And we need to recover FP, so we'll end our turn instead of using Searing Flame. Okay, let's use Flare Bomb. There we go. And our turn. Wait, what? Oh, it was her turn immediately after. That was a little disorienting that suddenly she made a move again. Alright, Bastion. Now, if we use Holy Light, it's going to drain his AP, which means we're not going to get an FP reduction. So let's not do that. Let's end this turn. Use Searing Flame on Bastion again. Okay, Sadira can go ahead with Tornado on the... Yeah, that should be fine. I was thinking of, will that bring his HP down too much? Which will force him to retreat, which will cause Faulkner to retreat, right? No, it doesn't, so that's good. End our turn, and we can end our turn. Actually, let's Roaring Wind on Sadira. And now we'll end our turn. Okay, finally Bodyguard 2 moved. Let's avoid. Uh-oh. Avoid this. Thank you, Cecilia, for dodging. Okay, let's go Flare Bomb. There we go. Alright, it's safe over here now. And we're just going to go ahead and... We'll move Franco and Halak beside Claire. One of them at least. I'll use Soaring Dance, and let's watch it in action because it looks cool. So if you saw the backflip, it's extremely unnecessary, but it looked cool, didn't it? Let's end our turn here. And let us not make any moves like that. Let's just continue waiting here. And Faulkner should end up going in front of Sadira now that the coast is clear. So let's end our turn and move Franco here. And Claire can go ahead with Searing Flame once again. Turn, Sadira can Roaring Wind Bastion. And basically, once we take care of Faulkner, the mission is over. So we'll get massive amounts of experience also. So that's something fun to look forward to. Okay, so can use Holy Light on Cecilia since we don't have to conserve our FP. So when Faulkner goes in front of Sadira, what we're going to do is we're going to drive up his FP so that he ends up becoming frozen. Once that happens, we don't have to worry too much about, let's say, reflect attack or parry activating, although it can still activate, right? But we don't have to, we just want him to be frozen so he takes a lot more damage. Okay, now let's go ahead with, let's use Tornado on Faulkner. And then we'll end our turn here. Franklin will go over his side. Bastion, give him another Searing Flame for no reason. Okay, Sadira can go ahead with double Tornado on Faulkner. Actually, can we do double Wind Strike? Yeah, we can. Good. There we go, he's frozen. And Halak can go over here. And her turn, and Bastion, he has, excellent, he has Searing Flame. So he should be able to wipe out Faulkner. If he can't, I don't know what to say, but he can. So we're going to witness a unique dialogue, followed by Bastion taking down Faulkner. Faulkner! Tell me, boy, how's the Ultra Gunner performing? That temple wasn't an ideal storage facility. What? You knew Ultra Gunner's location? Of course, Bastion. I know everything. Then know this, Faulkner. I will have revenge for my father. I will tear your heart of stone from your chest and use it to shatter your skull. Goodness, Bastion, you have grown in confidence since I last saw you. Claiming your life might bring me more satisfaction than I felt when I claimed Alucard's. I've been defeated? Damn it all. Hahaha. 672 experience. Isn't that a beautiful sight? Very, very beautiful. Alright, so 2 to power, 1 to dexterity. Faulkner! I can't keep fighting without him. I have to retreat. They're gone. For now. Sadira must be torn apart. Excuse me, there's a loud noise. Sadira must be torn apart inside. What a horrible situation. There was a huge noise outside. It was like an air horn that went off. That was totally impressive, Bastion. Thanks for saving all our butts. It was my pleasure, Claire, although I found it even more enjoyable to kick the Empire's backside. I didn't find anything enjoyable about it at all. Your spirits high, you must keep them, Princess. Persist and you shall prove your innocence and Faulkner's guilt. Yes. I'm not worried about that as much as what will happen to my brother. So, like, it's probably a bad idea for us to stay in Imperial territory. I think our next base of operations should be my dad's castle. That's a wonderful idea, Claire. Thank you. Let's go. So watch out for falling rocks, okay? These mountains are all treacherous and stuff. I have a bad feeling about this. Princess, there's an ATAC dead ahead. Check your scanners. What perfect timing. Alright, so we basically maxed out every character at this point. Let's take a look at the stats and we can actually see it. So everything for Ultra Gunner, everything for Sylphie, everything for Corbelan and Corbelan 2. Cecilia is just missing Somersault, and that's not our fault. It's because she requires the Jade Sealing Stone, and all we have is Olivine right now. So once she gets that, we have Somersault. So she's basically maxed out. Claire has everything too, including Flare Bomb. It would be nice if she learned her father's ultimate attack, or better yet, she gets his ATAC. That would be very nice. So let's exit here, and we're going to save. Okay, Rotten Radcot, goodbye. Oh, actually, Andrew's Test, goodbye. Alright, folks, just give me 1 second. I need to do a quick thing. So, we are going to put you on a 5-minute... I'll be back in 5 minutes. So I'll see you in 5 minutes. Don't take off. Be back in 5. Alright, I am back. And yeah, so we saved. Alright, so we saved, we checked our stats and everything like that. So let's go ahead and just give me 1 second here, sorry. Let's go ahead and do our interview and then briefing. Alright, so as you can see, Cecilia absolutely adores us, which is awesome. The Ultra Gunner is a wonderful ATAC Bastion. Will you take me for a ride on it someday? Talked to her 2 more times. We gotta get her to, I wouldn't say get her to the heart icon, which is the best that you can get in terms of morale, but trying to get her above Sadira is always ideal. Did Faulkner pursue us? Are these Imperial troops? No way, Bastion. We totally would have detected them behind us. This is like an ambush. And in my daddy's country too. It seems like we're just traveling from one ambush to another. I wish your father were here to help. What? It's not the Imperial Army. It's the Kingdom Army. Has the Kingdom formed an alliance with your father, Claire? Commander Gallus, the criminals have arrived, just as the report said they would. Arrest them. Okay. We're being arrested. Alright, so generally this is a cookie cutter style of mission. You just use them to level up. Galvus and Ganlon will appear here, and they will not run away, so we don't need to worry about losing experience. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at their level, sort it, and as you can see, we are way over level for them. So we're not going to obviously do anything with Bastion, Sadira, or Claire. We'll have Cecilia make kills primarily on these weaker enemies, while we position everybody up here for Galvus and Ganlon's arrival. So turbulence on them. Let's weaken them for Cecilia to make the kills. If we go here, we could do a normal slash. So let's just do that. Actually, we'll do a normal thrust. And Claire can go all the way in backsies. And she's not going to attack. If she does, this is what's going to happen. Taking way too much HP. And if especially if she uses Fireball, it's over. So, actually, let's just do this. Avoid that. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Avoiding attacks that you can actually avoid. Good job, Cecilia. Now we're going to have Halak down along with Cecilia making kills too, but we'll have Cecilia take the majority of the kills. Franco's gonna go here. He can use a flare bomb. Same with Halak, but she's gonna use it on the glaive. Excellent. The fact that they're all leveling up pretty easily is actually a really good thing. Sometimes it could be pretty difficult to have your characters level up evenly like this. Okay, so we were doing base power and dex. Do one more, I would say one more attack. We could, because Kingdom 2's FP is going to be above 60, so Sadira won't end up being frozen. And this Hyzeron blocked our path to the front, so that's unfortunate. I guess we're just going to do a wind strike from the side. There we go. And yeah, like I said, let's do base power and actually power, dexterity, and agility. We're going to make sure we leave, I believe Jade will give us 2 more stat points to agility. Probably just 1, but I want to make sure. I'll leave 2 open stat points for agility, because once we equip Jade, her agility goes up too. So let's have Bastion move up here. Attack with a long thrust. There we go. And Claire can go ahead with a fireball. Actually, sorry, a flare bomb. Whoa. I love when it leaves him with 1 HP. It's just a cool sight to see. Okay, we don't need to use Searing Flame. Let's avoid. Claire should be able to avoid this. Excellent. They're actually avoiding. Very nice to see them doing their job correctly. Alright, so we're putting the Sylphid up here. And then we're going to put the Ultra Gunner right beside Sadira. Oh dear, this is bad. Let's defend this one. Actually, let's avoid. She got hit. Let's just hit accuracy. Okay, let's try and rescue Cecilia. We do not want her being defeated. Her morale will go down. Alright, there we go. Bastion can... I guess he has to stay up. I guess he has to help Cecilia. I don't know why those words were so hard to say. So we're just going to go ahead with Lightning Strike. There we go. And end here. Claire can go also back up Cecilia. There we go. And Sadira can go hang out here. Okay, Wind Strike. Awesome. End her turn. Now Ganlon and Galvus should have started appearing very soon. Avoid this. Dang it. Excellent. Lots of dang it's and excellence, by the way. End their turn. Franco can go ahead Flare Bomb. And he can go right here to give... Okay, I was going to say give Searing Flame, but can't. There they are. The Imperial Princess and the boy who claims to be the prince. Isn't that Commander Galvus? I swore to find you, and now... What? That white ATAC. It is the Ultra Gunner. Impossible! Ultra Gunner can only be controlled by a special person of royal blood. Is the boy truly the prince? Don't, be fooled, Galvus. They must be using, some new type of Imperial technology to, operate the Ultra Gunner. That's impossible, Ganlon. Now, listen to me, Galvus. This is all part of the, Imperial plan. If you let them, trick you into thinking otherwise, then the, kingdom is doomed. What technology could be advanced enough to circumvent Ultra Gunner security systems? Do you want to fight Imperial Army? Well, now you, have one. How dare you claim to be the Prince of the Kingdom, you insolent brat? How dare you pretend to be allied with the Kingdom, you traitorous pig? Alright, so we need to be careful because Sadira is up there all alone. So let's go ahead and move Bastion here. We can protect Sadira just a little tad. And we can also get a unique dialogue with Bastion, Galvus, and Ganlon. And avoid this, hopefully. Thank you. Let's avoid this. Thank you. I mean, lots of thank yous as long as I keep avoiding. Thank you. And Cecilia is super in a dangerous situation. Why? Does this guy have reflect attack? No, he doesn't. Okay, so he just dodged like a champ. Let's move back here and end their turn. Claire, I don't believe she has a unique dialogue with Galvus, so I don't think we have to worry about that. But she does need to get the heck out of here. She's going to be surrounded, and that's going to be a huge problem. So let's go ahead and use Searing Flame on Franco. We need to do some major damage down here. Thank you. And Flare Bomb on the... Well, actually, who can I hit? Guaranteed. I guess you. Dang it. Alright. End their turn. Now Sadira can go ahead with Tornado on Galvus. Excellent. And we'll use another Tornado on Galvus. There we go. Now we just need to force Galvus to avoid one more time, or even quite literally just defend, and he will skip his next turn. So a low FP Something low FP. Please Flashing Fang. Okay, let's watch this happen. I don't understand. Who in the world are you? I was told 15 years ago that the prince was killed. But did he survive? I am the prince, alive, well, and controlling the Ultra Gunner. I'm not using any trickery to make it work. It moves because I was the one born to move it. Then why are you with the Empire? If you are the real prince, you will return to the kingdom, the place of your birth. I don't want to be constrained by the archaic structure of a government. What are you saying? The kingdom is good and the Empire is evil. It has always been this way. Soldiers of the kingdom are just as capable of evil as Imperial ones. You simply haven't seen it. You insult the kingdom. You cannot be forgiven for your insolent tongue. Yowza. Alright, let's end our turn here. We don't want Bastion to be frozen. And let's try and avoid this. Thank you. Okay, Cecilia needs to end her turn. And then we're going to see if we can hit anybody with Flare Bomb. There we go. Let's end our turn here. Okay, Ganon is actually pretty strong. Basically, if an enemy has a Fire Seal Stone, assume they're strong, because the fire attacks are very strong. Now let's hit Galvis 2 more times, and he'll be frozen. There we go. Let's end our turn. Franco can go ahead. Actually, what's his level 21? Okay, we're not going to have him do anything. We are instead going to have him go beside let's call her Sadira. We're going to use Searing Flame on Cecilia. We are going to end. Actually, we're going to use Melting Flare on the Hyzeron. Actually, let's use it on the Glaive. There we go. And end our turn. Okay, he's going behind Sadira, but that's okay. Okay, it's not okay. What the heck? That's how you dodge. Alright, now we use Flare Bomb on Kingdom 5. Hopefully this hits. Dang it. Let's move forward a little bit. Okay, everybody can hit Halak, but Halak can't hit anyone. Okay, Claire might end up being defeated, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, Cecilia is making kills, that's good. The less enemies that can make kills, the better it is for my survival. Okay, Bastion. Let's not hit Galvis. Actually, it might be a better idea to hit Galvis, because they're actually level 17, and if you look at their power stat, it's only 13. So it's far lower than Bastion's defense of 20. The problem is Ganon. He could come right back up here and hit Bastion pretty hard. What's his attack power? 15, 17. 15 power, 17 defense. Or 17 weapon. It only has Fireball. Actually, that might be a good idea. So let's do that. Let's go from... I was going to say go from front, but it's not an option. Let's use Soaring Dance on Galvis. Wipe him out. Get the Master Experience. And then get hit by Ganon. I'm extremely confused by what has taken place here today. Ganon told me that the boy was a fraud, yet he controls Ultra Gunner. How is that possible? I hope he survives until I am able to determine the truth. Alright, 198 experience. Fantastic. That's what I like to see. Now 2 to power and then 1 to dex. Alright, end our turn. Sadira can go ahead and turn around. We'll use... Actually, no, it's actually a stupid idea. We'll use double Wind Strike on Kingdom 7. There we go. Now they're going to skip their turn. Ganon didn't come to attack Bastion. That is an unusual move, by the way. That is really unusual. Oh, never mind. Claire's also frozen. It's not unusual now. Okay, unfortunately, Claire was defeated. It's okay. We don't need her morale to be high. It's more of... We just need her to level up. Okay, let's go ahead with Wind Strike. Actually, who's here? So Kingdom 5 is about ready to be destroyed, so let's attack him with Wind Strike. Get that experience. And let's end our turn right here. Franco can go ahead with a Flare Bomb. We'll leave this one for Halak. We'll attack Kingdom 9. And we Searing Flame on Halak. Their turn. And yeah, everything's going really well. And nobody seems to be dying except for Claire. But like I said, that's okay. We don't need her morale to be high. Okay, let's go ahead and just end our turn here. Bastion will be done being frozen, and he'll be done his break in his next turn. Can she avoid this? She's going to be frozen, so just might as well use Flare Bomb. Oh my god, let's watch this. This is actually a really cool counterattack. Massive damage. Isn't that wonderful when you see something like that? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, base power and dexterity again. She's probably going to be wiped out. Guaranteed. There it is. Okay, so we're in Bastion. Wait. Oh, we're on Sadira. Okay, we'll do double Wind Strike again. And their turn. Cecilia can go ahead with a Wind Strike behind Kingdom 9. And then we're going to go beside Franco. Actually, yeah, let's go behind Franco so he can't be surrounded. Now, you might be like looking and saying, wow, he's playing pretty horribly. But in actuality, I'm not. I'm just keeping the weaker characters down here to get extra character kills. And then the stronger enemies are up with Bastion and Sadira, who are basically going to take all the strong kills. If that made any sense. Okay, so we're going to have Bastion just sit and end his turn so he recovers his FP. We're going to have Franco go ahead and take on one of them. Whoever can hit the most often has the best hit accuracy. That's the word. And turn, Sadira can go ahead Wind Strike. And so she's not going to be able to make it down here, probably not in time before Gamlon is defeated, so let's just go ahead and use Spiral Dive so we can get more experience for the kill. Okay, end our turn. Okay, that's unfortunate. He attacked from the back and froze Franco, which basically meant he couldn't do a Flare Bomb. Let's go up. Actually, let's just go beside Glaive. In their turn, Cecilia can go ahead with Wind Strike again. Gamlon is going to skip his turn because he is at 70 FP. Let's go ahead with Splitting Smash. And we'll move over here. We want to attack from the front along with Soaring Dance so that Bastion can get the most experience. Okay, we're going to freeze him. Almost. Oh, actually very close. Okay, he didn't get frozen. That's okay. We'll use Melting Flare on Gamlon. Hopefully it hits. Excellent. And now we're going to use Searing Flame on Bastion. What this did was Melting Flare applied defense down debuff, and then Searing Flame applied an attack power buff to Bastion. So we're using Soaring Dance on Gamlon. Watch their unique. Oh, 46%. That might totally miss. Oh, unique dialogue time. I'm amazed that you have managed to maintain this charade of loyalty this long, Gamlon. Shut up, boy. I am the Prince Gamlon. Can you not see the Ultra Gunner with which I fight you? Of course I see it, fool. What's this? Are you experiencing a rare moment of honesty? Now that I've lost contact with the Empire, I have no choice but to make my home in the, kingdom. If you are revealed to be the prince, I will be convicted for my mutinous behavior. And, I can't have that. So you're a traitor and a coward. Could you be any more worthless as a human being, Gamlon? I know that my life is more valuable than, yours, boy. Okay, if he hits, it's gonna be very shocking because it's a 46% hit accuracy. Oh. Beautiful. Oh, look at those damage numbers. Absolutely amazing. This is not the last of me. I will not rest until I've defeated you. Sounds like my little girl has been very busy since she left here. So, like, is it okay if we hang out here for a little while, Daddy? Of course, Claire. I promised Sadira my cooperation, didn't I? As long as you and your friends are here, Claire, I'm not going to allow anyone into this country. Anyone. Thank you, Duke Logan. I knew it was a wise decision to seek out your help when we embarked on this adventure. Stop it, Princess Sadira, before you make me blush. I think it would take much more than a compliment to make you blush, Duke Logan. I could chat with you all evening, but I'm sure you're all more than ready for some rest. Totally ready. Xion, could you maybe prepare a few guest rooms? I have already prepared chambers for each of your friends, Miss Claire. You're, like, always one step ahead of me, Xion. Can you show them to their rooms? Of course. This way. Alright, so we're gonna get a dialogue choice where we can raise Sadira's morale by a huge margin. So we need to avoid doing that so that we don't risk going into Sadira's ending branch and we stay on Cecilia's ending branch. My father was killed in his sleep, brutally murdered. And now I am a fugitive from my own country, suspected of plotting the crime. My brain-dead brother is being blatantly manipulated, but is too dim to realize it. And that bastard Faulkner seems to have all but taken over the Empire. All this has happened despite my best efforts to stop the war. What a failure I am. My life is disintegrating before my eyes, and I am powerless to stop it. Sadira? Hello, Bastion. Is everything alright? Of course, Sadira. I only came here to speak with you, if you don't mind. Certainly, Bastion. You know how much I enjoy your company. I've caused you so much trouble. I've even made you an exile from your own nation. I'm sorry. It isn't your fault, Bastion. I believe that Faulkner would have done this even if we had never met. Your presence merely set events into motion sooner than they would have otherwise occurred. I suppose that's true. Sadira? Yes? I am grateful to you for all the help and support you have given me. You knew that helping me find the Ultra Gunner would be dangerous, yet you did it without hesitation. I cannot express my thanks to you with mere words, Sadira. If only you could see into my heart. Oh, Bastion, if only you would come to me and take me in your arms and kiss me softly. I am of the kingdom, you are of the Empire. Why did you help me when I'm considered your enemy? Because I judge each person I meet as an individual, not a stereotype. I determined long ago that there are good people and bad ones in both the kingdom and the Empire. And as for you, Bastion, I've grown to trust you more than anyone else in my life. You're so wonderful. Could you repeat that, Sadira? Your voice trailed off. You heard me, Bastion. Now get over here and kiss me, you fool. Sadira? What's wrong with you, Bastion? Can't you see how I feel? What are you angry about, Sadira? Never mind, Bastion. Just go away and leave me alone. Alright, so here, if you pick, please tell me what's wrong, her morale goes up. And then if you pick, alright, Sadira, good night, her morale stays where it is. So if you're after Sadira's route, then you choose this one. We're after Cecilias, so we're going to pick, alright, Sadira, good night. Alright, Sadira, I'm very sorry if I said something to offend you. Good night. Bastion, wait! Bastion, I'm such an idiot. You're such an idiot. It's nice to see you too, Claire. Go away and leave me alone isn't the best way to win Bastion's love, Sadira. Like, call it a hunch. I didn't know what to say, Claire. I was flustered, alright. I set up the perfect romantic moment for you and you blew it. Like, have you ever had a boyfriend, Sadira? Or are you totally pure? You set this up? How? I told Bastion that you were bummed and that he should cheer you up. And then you hid behind the door and listened to our entire conversation? Well, duh. I want to see if Bastion would make the moves or not. What? Not only are you rude, you're an enormous pervert as well. You're just venting and stuff because you're totally screwed up your chances with Bastion. That's not true. I'm venting because you drive me crazy, Claire. You're right. I'm a total failure in the romance department. I'm afraid. I'm always right, Sadira. Like, you should have noticed that by now. Why don't we sneak into my daddy's liquor cabinet and totally drown our sorrows together? That could be the best idea you've ever had, Claire. Sadira, you don't look well. Are you feeling ill? Did you have a difficult time sleeping? There was so much noise coming from your room, I thought that you might be having a nightmare. I'm fine, Bastion. Just a little groggy, that's all. Psst, Sadira. I think it's a miracle that you can even stand up. Like, I've never even seen my daddy drink as much as you did last night, and he's a 350-pound beast. It's all your fault, devil spawn. What are they whispering about? Good morning, everyone. We received a report late last night that the Empire has launched a full-scale attack against the kingdom. Faulkner is making his move. The Imperial Army is also using a new type of ATAC which has never been seen before. The new ATAC seems like it was designed not only to destroy enemy ATACs, but to kill their pilots. No, I ordered it destroyed. Faulkner obviously chose not to heed your orders, Princess Sadira. What do you know about this ATAC? Its name is Sharking. It was built by Maddock, the Empire's chief engineer. It was indeed designed to kill enemy pilots and make this war even more senseless than it already is. When I learned of Sharking, I told Faulkner and Maddock to destroy the prototype at once. But it seems as if Faulkner ordered Maddock to hide the prototype instead. It's not a prototype any longer. At least, a dozen of them have been seen along the kingdom's border. They couldn't have produced that many ATACs so quickly. Faulkner has been secretly building them. The Imperial Army used a squadron of Sharkings to reclaim Araba Castle from the kingdom. Most of the kingdom forces have been forced to retreat into Avalon, as they are unable to fight the Sharkings. The kingdom is all but lost. Faulkner won't stop the kingdom, Princess. He will attempt to conquer every country of the continent. And with those Sharkings, he could very well succeed. Excuse me, Duke Logan. Have you another report? Yes, sir. Our scouts have sighted an Imperial ATAC squadron marching across our border. They've come here already? The scouts have also reported sightings of at least 2 of the new pilot-killing ATACs in the squadron. Damn you, Faulkner. Duke Logan, I'm going to stop those Sharkings from taking another step into your nation. That's a fine idea, Sadira, but how about allowing us to come with you? Indeed, we must all fight. We have brought this danger into Nordilain, and now we shall remove it. Let's hurry. Daddy, I'm going with them. Be careful, Claire. Stay clear of the Sharkings until you have some idea of their strength. There they are. I see them. Ooh, okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and save quickly. We're gonna have to do a bit of shopping. And we're gonna save over grabbing Gratia. Okay. Now we just need to make sure we got Jade for Cecilia, and then she'll be able to finally use her somersault. We can get Kunzite for both Franco, Halak, and Claire, which will increase their power by one more point, because they already have a level 2. They have a level 3 fire seal stone already, so increase. Let's actually buy their weapons instead. So Cecilia, like I said, oh, look at that, 2 to agility. Okay, and then let's get the rest of the items. Durandar for 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we're gonna see how far Beto Corban's stats rise. Well, Cecilia's stats rise. Okay, so Cecilia, if we give her Widowmaker, it goes up by 1 point, and then 2 points for, well, 1 point for Jade. Yeah, so she just needs 2 more staff points to agility and it's maxed out. It's really useful, and I think we should probably do it next time she levels up. After that, it's basically power, dexterity, and probably 2 to power, 1 to dexterity. So we'll build her that way. Okay, let's give Franco his Durandar. There we go. We'll give Halak her Durandar, and then Claire her Durandar. Oh, wait a second. There's something I completely forgot about. My apologies. We're gonna take away all of these and give a Strength Gauntlet. Now, I went too far back. Apologies. We're gonna go back and do Equip. Now, we're gonna take Claire and we're gonna give her the Alba. Now, look carefully at the stats. You're gonna see why I'm switching it. Huge difference, right? Massive difference. So, as soon as Bastion gets Ultra Gunner, give Claire Alba. Her attack power just skyrockets. Like, well, her stats in general just skyrocket. So, we're gonna give him, well, her Durandar. We're gonna get Kunzite, and we gotta give, well, we can either keep Strength Gauntlet or Fairy Earring. I think we should keep the Dexterity because her hitting opponents is better than her doing a ton more damage. Okay, so with Bastion, Strength Gauntlet isn't really ideal. What we'd want is Family Jewels for sure because they'll raise all stat points by 1. Sadira and a Dex Ring is perfectly fine. Franco and Halak, really just maybe a Strength Ring, or wait, Strength, what was it again? What was it called? Power Tiara. A Power Tiara, maybe a Power Tiara for both of them. As for Cecilia, I believe it's called a Wind Necklace. That'll increase her agility, but that's by +4, so she probably won't need that. Very likely we'll want to increase her Dex or Power, so maybe a Dex Ring. We'll see what we can afford, but yeah, we'll see what she can afford. So let's go back to shop. And I believe we can buy Family Jewels right now. There it is. It's 65,000. Do we have another shop after this? I don't think so. I think it's the last time we can actually access the shop, so maybe not. Let's buy Kunzite for... Maybe we should buy 3 Kunzites. We have their weapons. +4. So they're not going to learn anything new. So a better option would be to give Claire, Halak, and Franco a Power Tiara since it's cheaper. And it will actually increase their power more than buying the new Seal Stone. You generally only want to buy the level 4 Seal Stone, only if they have unique attack. It requires that Seal Stone. So we're not going to do that. So 3 power. Okay, I almost bought 3. So if you look carefully, this is how I stop myself. If you look at all, you see 3 beside it, and if you look at Equip, it has 2. So 2 of them have a Power Tiara equipped already, and I just bought one. That's why we have all at 3. Okay, so thankfully that didn't happen. I didn't waste my money, because when you sell it back, you sell it for 50% of the purchase cost. Here's the parry skill. Let's see. So 3 Power Tiaras, and then we want one of them, Cecilia, to have the Dex Ring. And who has what? Let's go to Amulets quick second. One has a Thieves Ring, so we want to get rid of that. We don't want to give agility, so we'll get another Dex Ring. And then we don't have enough for Family Jewels, so what can we sell here? Maybe we can sell our old stones. Let's do that. Okay, there we go. Let's get our family jewels. We're nothing without them. Okay, Bastion is gonna get his family jewels back. Poor guy, right? There we go. He lost a little bit to power, but that's okay. Overall, balance stats is what is how you properly build Bastion. She has a Dex ring. That's awesome. You're not gonna get a Kunzite, right? There we go. Okay, Dex ring. I forgot what I bought. And then Claire's gonna get her her power tiara. There we go. Massive boost. Now let's talk about her having Dex, but I changed my mind because power tiara gives a lot of stats to your stat points to your power, so definitely worth having that. So let's go. We just completed Refuge in Nordilain, right? I think I'm gonna save here. I'm not sure if I saved. No, I just overrated an old save file for no reason at all. Okay, so there we go. Let's go to the interview. By the way, this is the mission that if Sadira's morale is equal or greater than Cecilia's, you will go into Sadira's ending branch. So you need to be very careful. What you can do if you're in like a dangerous situation. Let's go into interview just to show you exactly what I mean. So if you're in a dangerous situation like this, what you can try and do is make sure Sadira goes down as fast as possible, and then also never defeat every enemy from behind. Sadira doesn't like when you defeat enemies from behind, and she especially doesn't like when you when she's defeated. So definitely make sure she's defeated and you defeat enemies from behind if your morale is if Sadira's morale with Bastion is too high. But we're going Cecilia, so it has to be high. This war will be over soon, Bastion, one way or another. Okay, and there we go. Yeah, you just saw that change to a pink star. Okay, briefing time. There they are, Faulkner's men. This is where we stand, and this is where they fall. Let's go. Okay, mission. The traitors have arrived. Thank you for saving us the trouble of having to find you. Commander Zakov, you are ordered by the Imperial Princess to return to the Empire immediately. You are furthermore to cease and desist using the sharking ATAC, the use of which I have forbidden. First, I do not take orders from traitors. Second, the sharkings are the Empire's greatest strength. It is a new age in the Imperial Army, Princess Sadira, and it is wonderful to witness. We are now the army of darkness, feared by every man, woman, and child on the continent. You will be punished, Zakov. Oh, will I, traitor? I think not. You are a bloodthirsty animal, Commander Zakov, a rabid dog I shall put out of its misery. You will suffer for your insults, traitor's wench. You will suffer. Alright, so let's begin. So if you look carefully at the Imperials, they're all level 20. This is why we need to try and get everybody to at least level 20 so they have a shot of surviving against the Sharkings, because the Sharkings are actually really strong. Zakov is level 23, so we could have Bastion attack, but I think a better option would be to have Sadira or Cecilia take the kill. I'm going more leaning towards Cecilia doing it because she's the ending character we're going after, right? So let's also take a look at their stats quickly. So as you can see, power 23 and weapon 28, that is nothing to scoff at. He might only have 3 attacks, but cutting wheel is dangerous. Strong slash is now a knockdown type attack, and slash is also very strong. They also have reflect attack, which, by the way, just it activates more often than not. It is an extremely irritating attack to deal with. So attacking from the side is quite literally the best option, but attacking from the back is the actual best option. Attack from the front, you're very likely to have your attack reflected. So what you want to do here is do not go try to like Rambo this. You will get destroyed pretty easily. So keep them bunched up close together and use Searing Flame and Roaring Dex as much as possible. So we're gonna use Turbulence. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And we're gonna use a double Turbulence. Now Cecilia sit right here and do a Turbulence for herself. We're gonna prevent one of the Sharkings from actually moving forward. And we're gonna have Bastion sit behind them. Like so. Because the reason why I want Bastion to, I guess, sit in between characters is, oh god, okay, I'll show you what cutting wheels before I continue talking. Is that a nice dodge? Because I think it was a nice dodge. Alright, so the reason why Bastion is in the middle is because if anybody takes way too much damage, like for instance Sadira or Cecilia, what you can use is Holy Light. Although you might skip your turn with Bastion in terms of not being able to attack, your character is surviving. This kind of battle is imperative. You don't want to lose too many characters here. Okay, and let's try double Lightning Strike. These Sharkings are incredibly strong. Okay, one more Lightning Strike. There we go. End our turn. Sadira can use Roaring Wind on Bastion, and then we're going to just end her turn. We don't want to risk her being frozen. There are still 3 Sharkings and Zakov left. Go ahead and... oh yeah, we have Somersault too. This is what it looks like, by the way. So contrary to the name, it doesn't mean Cecilia will somersault. It just means that she makes any somersault. Okay, so 2 to power, 1 to dex. There we go. And no Roaring Wind will end our turn. Dang it. Okay, Claire, she can go right here. And she's Flare Bomb. There we go. I totally understand why Sadira wanted to ban these things. They, like, hurt. So, funny. She didn't even get hit by it, and she got hurt. Dang it. Alright, Sadira needs to end her turn here. She's gonna be, like, she's at risk of being frozen. Do a Flare Bomb. There. Cecilia can do Somersault. Should I do this with her? Yeah, let's do it. And we'll end our turn here so we recover some FP. Okay, we'll put Bastion in the front. Go ahead with a Lightning Strike on this guy. End our turn. And Halak is gonna use a Flare Bomb. There we go. Now that Sharking will not be able to attack. Its FP is above 60. Now we can go ahead with a double Wind Strike. There we go. And we're going to end our turn. Now we should be able to avoid this, hopefully. Actually, I'll show you what Strong Slash is. So if it hits us, you'll be able to see why it's different than the Strong Slash we've normally been using. Yeah, there it is. So it's a knockdown type attack. So when you're getting hit by Strong Slash from a Sharking, do not try and make a counterattack. You will get thrown back if you get hit. Just do Searing Flame on Cecilia. I will make it so that she can actually effortlessly make kills. Okay, that's a normal slash. So maybe if I use Flare Bomb. Yeah, barely any damage. Let's try and let's defend it. Okay, Cecilia can go to the side, and we can go ahead with Somersault. And we'll end our turn. Okay, Zakov is making his move. That's a good thing. That's not a good thing. You have brought great shame to my... You have brought great shame to my father's empire, Zakov, and I despise you for it. Your insulting words only make me stronger, little girl. Glad you dodged it. It's always nice to see. Okay, Bastion, he needs to, I would say use Holy Light, but his FP is really too high, so we're going to end our turn. Sadira can go ahead with a double Wind Strike. No, we're going to save these for Cecilia, so let's not. Let's instead use a double Turbulence on, or sorry, double Tornado on Imperial 3. There we go, end our turn. And Franco can go ahead with his Flare Bomb. Wait, I just said we were going to like save it for Cecilia. Let's... no, you know what? Let's not save it for Sadira. Sorry, Cecilia. Let's give it to Sadira. We'll give them to Sadira, but Cecilia will take the Zakov kill. Let's use Melting Flare. And we'll end our turn here. Flare can go ahead with Flare Bomb. Okay, we're going to move beside Bastion. We're going to go ahead with Searing Flame. Okay, end our turn. Okay, we're still getting hit. That's never a good sign, but it's okay. Okay, let's end our turn right here. Now, double Lightning Strike, of course. Excellent. End our turn. And Sadira can go ahead and use Turbulence on Zakov. Actually, no, forget that. We'll use End here. Okay, now we can do Cecilia with Somersault. Oh, and Claire, we'll move her beside Cecilia so that Cecilia can get a Searing Flame. And we'll also use Melting Flare on the Sharking too, so that Cecilia can do even more damage. Nice. Very nice. Alright, Tornado on Zakov. Okay, I think I can use Flare Bomb and then do quite a bit of damage to Imperial 1. There we go. End our turn. Bastion. Let's leave Bastion here. It's kind of like bait right now. And we'll use Melting Flare on Zakov. Yeah, I knew it. We're going to counterattack, but that's okay. Everything's still perfectly fine. We'll get this kill, even though we're going to get less experience for it. Okay, 2 to power, 1 to dex. Oh wait, no. I forgot. We were going to increase her. We were going to max out her agility. I forgot about that. Yeah. On our turn, Sadira, go ahead with double Tornado on Zakov again. Good, he's frozen. Another one on Imperial 3. End our turn. Claire can go ahead and give Searing Flame to Cecilia once again. We're going to move Bastion out of the way, of course. We need to make sure that Cecilia can get in front of that Sharking. There we go. And... oh, of course it did. Of course it got in the way. Why wouldn't a Sharking do that? Goodbye, Halak. Okay, well, this one's getting somersaulted. Okay, let's go behind Cecilia and give her Roaring Wind. And end our turn. Franco, I'd like to give Cecilia Searing Flame, but that's not an option. So let's move beside the Sharking, end our turn. Same here, end our turn again. Bastion, go ahead with Holy Light on Cecilia. And back off. Who's going to attack? Cecilia. Excellent. Alright, so strong slash. So if I use somersault here, okay, it's not going to work. Okay, this is what counter's going to look like. Hopefully it lands. It's a huge percent, so hopefully. Very nice. Alright, so what we're going to do is just a normal wind strike, and then we're going to freeze him before we start attacking. So tornado. Tornado, end our turn. Bastion can go ahead with, I would say Holy Light, but let's just use a lightning strike on him. That missed. Interesting. Okay, second one. He's frozen, so he's going to take massive damage. Can I hit him with Soaring Dance? No, I can't. I was hoping to do that. There we go. End our turn. And move here. End our turn again. Cecilia is going to take the Zakov kill. Let's go avoid this. Nice. Franco's dodging for once. Congratulations. He's grown up. Not baby Franco anymore. Alright, somersault time. Let's watch her defeat Zakov. No, you cannot have to feed the Sharking. No! Well, that's it for Zakov. Alrighty, so one more to agility, and then we'll do 2 power. There we go. Max agility. Now let's go beside this Sharking and end our turn. We'll also go behind the Sharking to increase our accuracy to hit it. And Bastion can go ahead with Holy Lighting, I guess Cecilia. Turn. Claire can go behind, and I don't think she can use Searing Flame. No. Okay, can you use Searing Flame? No. Alright, end our turn. Cecilia. And let's watch the victory animation. I don't see any more ATACs on my scanner. We've defeated them all. Now I understand why the kingdom was forced to retreat. An army of Sharkings would be unstoppable. We have to defeat Faulkner before he produces any more of these, and before he conquers the continent. Alright, so here's the point. Logan will say something, and this will tell you what ending branch you're on. Here it is. So if you see this, I take it that you were able to repulse their attack, Sadira. You are on the Cecilia ending branch. If, of course, he says something else, let me just bring that up for you. Where am I? If he says congratulations on your victory, you are on the Sadira ending branch. So those are the 2 you look out for. At the end of Sharking attack, then excuse me, at the end of Sharking attack, if Logan says, I take it that you were able to repulse their attack, Sadira, you're on the Cecilia ending branch. But if he says, congratulations on your victory, you are on the Sadira ending branch. So use that as a marker to verify what ending branch you're actually on. I take it that you were able to repulse their attack, Sadira. For the time being, Duke Logan, but they'll be back, and they'll attack in greater numbers. We need to cut off their head to spite their face, if you will. You mean, like, we have to attack the Empire and kill Faulkner? Exactly. The only other option is to wait here until the Imperial army overwhelms us. It's not an option, Sadira. If I die on the battlefield, it's going to be in pursuit of Faulkner. It's time to finish this. And we will depart from the Imperial capital at once. I'll come with you, Sadira. If you're attacking the Empire, you're going to need my incredible strength. Like, we appreciate the offer, Daddy, but you shouldn't. But you should stay here and protect Nordilain, okay? Okay? Nonsense, Claire. I've already placed Xion in charge of the castle defense force while we're away. Daddy, are you even, like, listening to me or what? You're not going. Okay? Aw, come on, Claire. Like, nice try with a sad face, but I can totally resist your guilt trips. You're staying right here. If the Empire destroyed Nordilain because you were gone, I would be so mad at you. Claire, I beg you to reconsider. Duke Logan, I'm happy that you want to help us, but defending Nordilain should be your primary concern. I assure you that we will deal with General Faulkner. You don't need to be polite, Sadira. Daddy was just looking for an excuse to get violent. Weren't you, Daddy? Claire, you know me far too well, and you sound more and more like your mother every day. Good, because then maybe you'll start listening to me and stuff. I listen to you, Claire. I just choose to ignore you most of the time. Alright, I give up. I'll stay here in Nordilain, and you go to the Empire. Thank you for giving up, Daddy. Be careful. I will, Daddy. We'll all be careful. Claire, weren't you being a bit harsh with your father? Not even, Sadira. We always talk to each other like that. Really? Like, really? I mean, I know he's worried about me, and he knows I'm worried about him. But he won't show his concern for me. He's too afraid to get in touch with his feminine side, you know? So we joke around with each other because that's the only way we can really express our feelings. Oh. And I'm totally wondering what happens when I get older. Do I get control of Nordilain, or what? I feel like Daddy needs me to replace Mom since she died, but I really can't do that forever, you know? I didn't realize your relationship with him was so complicated. Then again, I barely had any sort of relationship with my father. He was always too busy for me. No relationship is perfect, you know? Like, we're all human. A little unexpected, in your case. We're now within Imperial territory, but now we have to get through this totally guarded checkpoint. It's possible, but unlikely, that these troops will heed my orders and let us pass without incident. If not, we'll have to fight. I was expecting a fight in any case, Sadira. Let's go. Stay on your guard, everyone. I doubt these soldiers will respect Sadira's authority. Alright, so we are now officially on the Cecilia ending branch. We have 3 missions left to complete, and we will have completed 55 out of the 56 missions. We will basically need to complete the next kingdom route, get the bad ending, and we will have 100%ed this game. So on Thursday, we will finish off the Empire route for Cecilia, and then next Monday we'll begin the Empire route to get the bad ending. But so yeah, we're very close to 100%ing Vanguard Bandits, and at the end of Kingdom Route, and when we get the bad ending, we get to see the final blooper. Gonna look forward to that one. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Also, let's actually check the status, just like get it into our minds of how much we 100%ed everything so far. So here we go. All the attacks are Bastion, Support, and Dormant. And there we go. Everything, we've gotten all Dormant skills, all support skills, and all attack skills for every single character. Now, it's just getting Cecilia's ending. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna save, and then Thursday, 9:15, join me for the final 3 missions of Cecilia's route. So